My character is a heartthrob, okay? Just putting it out there, he is. I am not meant for this industry. I am so impatient. Like, just reject me already. Ooh, big yawn. I'm trying to let myself enjoy this fantasy world. What are some interesting metaphors we can use that are unfamiliar to convey a sense of setting or to convey a sense of feeling? So I'm trying to do that, and it's taking a long time, okay? This is not easy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelley. I'm a freelance book editor and a science fiction and fantasy writer. Welcome back to another weekly writing vlog where I take, oh my goodness, where I take you guys through a very realistic week of trying to write and do my freelance editing business while working a full-time job. Today is Monday, June 5th. It's almost 6 p.m. and oh god, I forgot to do these intros. So I'm gonna tell you what my plans are for this week because I'm mostly filming these writing vlogs to keep myself accountable. I have a lot of goals for this month that I really need to hit. Not just goals, deadlines, and I am a little bit low energy today, so that's just the way it is. My goodness, I started peeling off my gel nails, which is, I know it's really bad for you. I finally got all the tools I needed to remove, but in the meantime, you're gonna have to deal with these ugly nails. Anyway, so there were four main things I wanted to say. My goal for this week is to finish my proofread. So I have a proofread client that her project is due on Monday. I did the first read-through, I have all my notes, and I like to do 2 read-throughs per client. So I'm gonna do the second read-through this week and tweak my notes, adjust my notes. I like to, you know, give them some thoughts, positive thoughts, because the book was great. Anyway, so we're gonna do that, and I also have to work on some Augur stuff. So I am also on the editorial staff for Augur Magazine. Augur Magazine is a Canadian magazine that publishes dreamy, literary, science fiction, and fantasy. And on the editorial staff, not only am I doing like fiction editing, but I'm also doing some website stuff, so I update their website. So I have some of that work to do. And lastly but not least, the reason why everyone's watching this is because I also need to work on my book. I'm currently writing a YA fantasy, and I'm going on a writing retreat next month with Maggie Stiefvater. Do you hear my throat? It's like, it's because I'm allergic to my cats. Anyway, I'm going on the writing retreat with Maggie Stiefvater next month, and I had wanted to get Draft 2's Act 1 polished before going to that retreat, because I need to print out my manuscript, like my current manuscript, and I had planned on finishing Act 1 because I just find that, you know, Act 1 is like a almost complete, can almost stand alone. So anyway, I had wanted to finish all of Act 1 by the end of this month, but that's not gonna happen, so I guess we'll move on to some like quick updates. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I completely underestimated myself, or I overestimated the work. Like, for sure I underestimated how long it would take to film like weekly vlogs. I guess I also underestimated how long it would take me to do the proofread. I underestimated how much Augur work I needed to do, and I also underestimated how much I would socialize. My voice is dying. Maybe I need my inhaler. So I won't be finishing Act 1 anymore. I'm not gonna push myself to do it because I feel like I'm already reaching a limit. I was supposed to finish 4 chapters, like I was supposed to edit 4 chapters last week. I didn't even finish 1. I finished chapter 3, so I edit out of order. I just like to do that. So I finished chapter 3's like structural edit, but I kind of want to do a quick line edit, and I didn't do that yet. I want to finish chapter 3 sometime this week and start chapter 1. So I'm gonna go in the order of 3, 1, 2 prologue, and honestly that might be all I'm capable of doing this month, but we'll see. Hopefully, like, I don't have any clients scheduled the last 2 weeks of June, so maybe I can do more. But I want to get as far into Act 1 as I can, so that's part of the weekly goal, I guess. Second update I want to say, I wrote this down because I knew I was going to forget. Last week I talked about how this book is not a good representation of what I'm currently writing, and then I was talking to some Augur folks last week, and they kind of agreed with the fact that it's much easier to go from adult to writing YA than YA to writing adult. Did you know Rick Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson series, he originally wrote adult fiction? And like no one knows that. I didn't know that. So this kind of just like makes me not sure if I want to continue pursuing this book like in this moment. Like I still want to finish this book, I still want to write it because it's very important to me. But is this the right time, like at this current time, to be doing this? We'll evaluate that answer when I come back from the writing retreat. Because yeah, Maggie Stiefvater is like a YA fantasy author, right? So I wanted to work on this project with her because I know I think she'll be reading some of my book. And that's another reason why I wanted to have like a really good Act 1, or at least have like chapters 1 to 4 be as polished as possible, as opposed to just like giving her something bad to read, you know? We're definitely gonna see how I feel after the writing retreat, see if I want to continue writing Mia, because I don't write YA fantasy anymore, I don't write YA anymore, I don't write fantasy anymore. So yeah, my voice is dying again. It sucks to be allergic to your cats, like it really does. The last update I have for now are my editing services. Actually no, I have 2 more updates. I was talking to the Augur folks, we were hanging out on Friday, and then they were like, Kelley, you're charging like too little for your editing services. And you know, I agree. I know I charge less than industry standard, but they were saying that I really charge like way too little, and that I was saying that like I wanted to build my clientele up, and then until I do have a steady clientele, I won't raise my prices to more than 1 cent per word. Because if you look at industry standards, like 1 cent per word is like literally the bare minimum that most editors do, especially if I'm also hosting like Zoom calls, because that's part of my package as well. You can have a 30-minute Zoom call with me to talk about your edits. I've decided that I will raise my prices. One of the folks, what do I call them folks? One of my friends, like she was saying that if someone's gonna hire me, they're gonna hire me regardless of the price. And there's a lot of things that come with having a lower price too, not just like the clientele, but the expectations of me and my work. So I've decided that after the summer I'm gonna raise my prices. So if you're looking into booking with me, you know, I recommend like booking now before I raise my prices, because if you book with me now, you're still gonna retain that price even after I change it, because we booked it, you know, now. And I'm also offering 20% off copy editing and line editing right now, so I'm pretty much like giving away my services for free at this moment. So this is like the perfect time to work with me. And then last update I have before I take my inhaler because I'm losing my voice is that I still haven't heard back from my 2 holds. I have a poem on hold from a magazine, and I have a short story on hold from another magazine, and I haven't heard back. I had a dream about one of the holds yesterday. I don't know when I'm gonna hear back. It might not actually be for a while, but anyway, you'll know when I know. Tonight I won't be writing, or I won't be really doing anything. I'm gonna clean up. I have some packages I'm gonna get downstairs, and I have an Augur meeting tonight. Tuesday, which is tomorrow, I want to work on some website stuff for Augur in the morning. In the evening, I might also continue to work on some website stuff, or maybe I will work on my book. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna work on the proofread, gonna do another read-through, and Friday I'm gonna work on my book as a break, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna work on the proofread. It might be hard to tell, but there's wildfire smoke covering all of Toronto right now, and it even smells smoky. I knew this kitty wanted to come out, or he would come out. I had to shut the door fast. Brambles, weren't you sleeping? Look what he did to my couch. Oh my goodness. Bramble has a lot of homes, you know. He has that as his home, that one. He has this bag that he has torn up as his home. That's Crow Baby over there. Ooh, big yawn. And look at him spilling his food everywhere. It's always him. He wants to jump on my desk. Oh my god. We'll get a shot of Brambles in the video. Alright, hi Mr. Brambles. Oh, look at him being so cute. He's pretty evil. It's Tuesday, it's the next day. It's around 1. I'm just taking a quick break to film this. The first story that I truly recommended for Augur Magazine was this science fiction story that is super Torontonian, and I loved it so much. So I recommended that piece to the lead editor, and then I ended up editing that piece. You guys might know what I'm talking about if you've been following me on this channel. This piece is called Toronto Isn't Real and Other Metropolitan Anomalies by A.D. Sway. And her piece, that piece that I edited, is a finalist for the Theodore A. Sturgeon Memorial Award for Best Science Fiction Short Story. And I was so happy when I found that news. I was so ecstatic. I was so proud. I was like, I found this piece in the middle of, like, in the slush pile. I picked it out. I knew what a good story was. Also, we got illustrations for all the 3 pieces that will have artwork for 6.2, and one of them is Chris's story, and another one is one of my authors. What was he doing? What is he doing? One of those pieces was also my author, who I was working with, and they're just so good. They're so good. I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see. So yeah, exciting things happening at Augur. The holds, I still haven't heard back. I'm just gonna pretend that nothing's gonna happen with them because I feel like I'm getting hopeful now. I'm thinking like, oh my god, maybe they're like building this piece up. Like, I am not meant for this industry. I am so impatient. Like, just reject me already. So this morning I did work a little bit on my novel. I realized that for this draft I am mostly doing a structural edit and a little bit of line editing because I want the piece to read smooth, you know? I don't think I made it clear yesterday, but I have to like I have to bring my most updated manuscript to the writing retreat, and I was thinking I would bring Act 1. You know, I said that yesterday. So I kind of want, like, whenever I edit short stories for my critique partner to read, they're usually at a level, or yeah, the piece is usually at a level where I'm not really embarrassed by it. Sometimes my critique partner does catch like really bad grammar mistakes, so there are errors for sure, but at least the lines don't read like that horrible. Like, I also underestimated how terrible my first draft of this book is. I think it's either because this is like 2-year-old writing or 1.5-year-old writing. Like, my first drafts tend to be like outlined, so I'll literally have a sentence that says, "The room is dark and gloomy," like something like that. And then I'll have to like edit that in my revisions. So in this draft too, I'm focusing on structural stuff, and I'm also making the lines just read better. I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I feel like they can't really evaluate that draft if it's not written like properly. So anyway, I'm still doing chapter 3. It's taking a long time because I ended up trying to figure out some of the world map that I have going on. My character like travels a lot in this world, so I wanted to have basic locations figured out. So I don't have names for a lot of these places yet, but that's fine. I just want an idea of that in my head, and when it's time to like have that name on the page, like literally on the manuscript, then I'll figure it out. I was doing that a little bit this morning, and then this morning I went into like the history of libraries. Knowledge, I guess, is a big theme in this book, and I feel like this pays homage to the original fairy tale because my book, Mia is not the real name. It's a YA fantasy. It's actually X fairy tale means Y fairy tale, so this is a YA retelling or retellings. I feel like you could put together 2 and 2 to figure out one of these retellings. The whole thing with the knowledge and the books and the library. So I did like so much research on libraries this morning because I was trying to describe this particular library that the character is in, and I just got into a rabbit hole because I really wanted to know like what were libraries like spanning throughout the ages. And I thank ChatGPT for that, actually, because instead of like reading through and scouring all the articles, I just asked ChatGPT to give me a 5-paragraph summary, and then I asked it more questions. So it's been helpful in terms of research. You know, I'm most definitely not using it to write anything. And honestly, that's also one of like my biggest concerns now. Sometimes I'll submit something to a magazine and I'm like, wait, what if they think I'm using ChatGPT? I just get like super paranoid. Also, I saw, okay, it's getting a little bit irrelevant now. I saw this tweet, I forgot who it was, and the person was like, oh, beware of this person. She's giving out free videos, free advice videos. She's claimed she's worked with the big 5 publishers, and now she's offering her editing services. And for a moment I was like, wait, is this me? But I'm like, wait, I've never claimed that I worked with a big 5 publisher. Anyway, I just get paranoid like that. I feel so much better today. I was like super dead yesterday. I don't know why my left eye was twitching all day. So tonight I'm gonna continue working on the book, right? I didn't work on the Augur stuff because I think I can delay that a little bit more, at least until this proofreading period is over. Hopefully tomorrow's weather will be better. You know, I love writing about climate change, you guys know that. Nature and world building, I love it when it's like its own character, and it kind of feels like that. I think this is the first time in my life I've experienced being under some sort of like wildfire smoke. So not the best for the environment, and I hope all the animals out there are doing okay today. Breakfast essentials. An everything bagel, toasted with Philadelphia. Oh, focus. Herb and cheese cream cheese spread. It's so good. I could eat like a lot of this. And as a side, my partner cut up a watermelon for me because I was like buying the cut watermelons because I'm just like lazy, honestly. And then he was like, let me just cut it up for you. And I realized that that may be one of my love languages. I'm checking like the peripheral to see if it's like safe to vlog. My place is like so tiny. I guess I'll just show you the full thing. This is like the entirety of my space. That's why I'm always here. And then I have like a little cove of a bedroom because I live in the junior bedroom slash studio. And I made some coffee. Should I update in this awkward angle? No, I'm gonna wait. I'll wait a little bit. Actually, this is the most essential thing every coffee lover needs. I love this oat milk so much. Bramble's in a timeout. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Oh my goodness. That's my camera strap. He was attacking Kobe, that's why. Bramble's just playing it with everything. It's pretty late. This is some strange lighting. It's still smoggy. It's still polluty. Okay, I need to quickly talk because my camera's dying. I gotta start work soon. Yeah, it's pretty late. I didn't do anything this morning. I woke up like, I slept for 10 hours. I was so sleepy, I don't know why. But last night, I was still working on chapter 3. Actually, it took me like a really long time to remove my nails, and I think like I still didn't do them properly because I can see the gel still on it. Yeah, that took me like almost an hour to do. Anyway, I worked on chapter 3 again, and it's getting better. It's getting so much better, but like the line editing is just taking a while, and the chapter is just getting longer and longer. It's like 3,000 words now, almost 2,600, and I think I only line edited up to like the first quarter, so I still have a lot more to go. I think the chapter will end around 3,000 for some reason. I'm like an underwriter in my first drafts, but then I'm an overwriter when it comes to like the future revisions. Yeah, that's just who I am. It's really strange. It's really strange, but I really like this chapter because it's a lot of setting, it's a lot of build up, and I'm trying to play with the words. Do you keep hearing that? Should I separate them? Hold on, let me separate them. All right, the gate's up. He's in his prison again. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm trying to play with the words because like the first draft is so terrible. Like you would not think that I write poetry or I have been published for poetry. Like it just reads so bad, and I'm trying to play with the words to make it sound, you know, more whimsical. And because I've been complaining about this being a fantasy, I'm trying to let myself enjoy this fantasy world. What are some interesting metaphors we can use that are unfamiliar to convey a sense of setting or to convey a sense of feeling? So I'm trying to do that, and it's taking a long time, okay? This is not easy. So a part of me is like, should I rush? Do I need to rush to like get further on into the draft? But I think at this point, yeah, I'm only gonna be sending like the first like 4 chapters to the retreat because like there's no way I can work any faster. Yeah, so that's what my quick update is. If I hear back from any of the holds, I will let you know. I don't know. I really didn't think I was gonna update again today, but here we are. I just changed because I worked out. I was actually gonna go for a walk, except it's still smoggy outside, and I want to protect my lungs. My lungs are actually fine, so I thought I'd also segue into like a allergy update. So I was talking about being allergic to my cats a lot. I was like somehow like really suffering on Monday. So I actually had a call on Tuesday with my doctor about allergy shots. I was approved for that. I had to get a breathing test, and the doctor said my breathing test is like completely normal, like my lungs are totally fine, which I was really glad about because I sing, not professionally. I guess I sing in the shower. I get paranoid about like lung stuff. Also, I had a really bad flu like in March, April. And I was coughing for days, and my dad was like, you should get checked out for bronchitis. So I'm really glad my lungs are normal. Anyway, so I just don't want to be walking outside in this. And it's funny because that's not really funny, but I did write a short story about smoke-ish. If you haven't read that, it's free tomorrow in Martian Magazine. Also, I had to come on here because I saw this most ridiculous tweet. I don't know if someone made it up because I can't find the original. The smoke from the Canada wildfire making it hard for you to breathe. Use that orange haze to get the perfect golden hour selfie to leave your followers breathless. Taylor Swift's lavender haze is out, orange haze is in. What? This is the most ridiculous. This is literally Black Mirror stuff, and this is the reason why I love writing sci-fi. Like, I saw this tweet and immediately I had like all these short story ideas. Like, how could I turn this into the most disastrous, apocalyptic, cyberpunk-ish story where the environment is a commodity, is something to be leveraged for the sake of these glorious people, these socialites trying to take photos. Oh my god, tell me this isn't real. Tell me this isn't real. I wanted to also kind of give a quick update on the proofread and maybe walk you guys through some of my process if anyone is curious, or in case you are trying to proofread someone else's stuff, like how do you get started. So okay, let me grab my laptop. I'm kind of crouching again. I pretty much have a PDF version, so the client sends me the PDF because what you're doing as a proofreader is kind of like a quality assurance check, because you're making sure that the book is finalized in terms of format. There's no weird grammar stuff, and sometimes I do point out plot holes if there are like really big plot holes. Like, obviously I'm not gonna not say that. And in the comments I also leave like lines that I like, reader reaction, so it's pretty encompassing, I guess. I love doing proofreads because the story is at a point where you can like also enjoy it because you're not looking for developmental stuff. Anyway, for the first read through, I just like read through the whole thing. I left notes on like reader reaction and grammar consistencies, things like that. And in my current second read through, what I did today was I pulled up the style sheet. If you are doing someone's proofread, you should ask for the style sheet from their copy editor if they had a copy edit done. If they didn't, it doesn't make your job harder, but it's gonna be, let's use my book as an example. I have a country, it's not a country, I have a town called Basan. In the style sheet, it'll say like, well, in English, Bashan. And then the editor or the proofreader will know that this town is called this. That's like the source of truth. So what I've been doing now is I've been using the style sheet, and I've kind of been creating like test cases for myself on how to find things that I may have missed from my first read through. For example, if the country name or the town name is called Basan, I would like control find like ways that they could have like mistyped that. This is a bad example, but that's pretty much what I'm doing. So another example, like depending on the style guides too, in Chicago style, if you have a character's name that ends with S and you're doing a possessive, it would be like S''S. So I am like manually finding like character's name that have ending S and like seeing if they're misses, you know. So yeah, essentially I'm just trying to find ways to like break the style guide so I can flag it for the author. And a lot of the times my comments are also like, is this intentional? Is this what you mean? So not necessarily like a correction, but just like, hey, FYI, like I really like this book a lot, and I'll talk about it after this proofread is done. So you guys can pre-order it, or you guys can pick it up. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Anyway, we'll talk about all that after the fact. And I'm also doing the second read through from the bottom up, so I'm starting from the last chapter. I'm gonna work my way up. I think I might stop that in the middle and then work my way down, just because I felt like towards the end of me reading this, I was like so into it. So I was still paying attention, of course, but in case I missed something, so I want to work that way up. And that's what I do with my novels as well. That's why I revise out of order, because I know I'm gonna get like tired, I'm gonna get like whatever, and then it's just gonna fall flat. So yeah, okay, that's all the updates for today, for reals. Why I'm awake right now, I have no idea. Hi, I'm going to wrap up the vlog now. It's Friday, it's almost 3 p.m. I didn't vlog yesterday at all because I just did work all day. I woke up super early, did the proofread, did my day job, worked out, and went back to doing more work. I worked for like 13-14 hours yesterday. Yeah, honestly it was depressing, so it was not much to vlog. I felt like I was going through some feels yesterday because I was starting to not doubt, but realize that this is the life I have chosen for myself, right? I've chosen this freelance editorial work life, and I'm just hustling every day. I have now less and less time to work on my own writing, so I was also feeling like I haven't caught up to my goals. Like, I didn't intend on writing Mia this year. I mean, revising Mia this year. I was gonna go straight into a speculative romance I was thinking of writing that I might indie publish one day. It's like a cyberpunk romance, if I can call it that. And I was supposed to also work on this novelette that I started last year. I had an idea for a novella that I wanted to write. There's this like very amazing publisher that publishes novellas, and their 2024 not listing, but their pieces for 2024 were selected recently, and I was like, oh my god, I want to write a novella. And I was just going through feels, but nothing is easy, right? Nothing is supposed to be easy. We just gotta keep going. Anyway, I got really far into the proofread. We're almost halfway done, so I took a break today. This morning I worked on my book. I finally finished chapter 3. I think my sadness pushed me to finish chapter 3. It's not great, but it's not bad. I really like it. I really like it. Some of the lines I was like, yeah, that's nice. Some of the lines I'm like, ugh, especially the dialogue. But at least I can give that to Maggie Stiefvater and I won't be like super embarrassed. I will allow Maggie to read that. I'm gonna work on chapter 1 tonight, which I'm really excited to do because it's where you meet the character, and my character is a heartthrob. Okay, just putting it out there, he is. I have like something else I want to say, and I think I might just say it because I don't know who's at this part of the vlog now. We're so far in, like 30 minutes in. There's probably like 3 of you left, so I'll say it because you made it this far. And I guess if someone comments on it, then everyone will know. But that's okay. It's about one of the holds, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you which magazine is currently on hold. Let me just get the exact name right. So my piece is on hold for the Shoreline of Infinity climate change issue. Now this magazine is based in Scotland, and they've won like best science fiction magazine in Scotland, I think. They're hosting a Kickstarter, like many magazines do, to like boost their budget. Every magazine does it differently. Some magazines, they get the authors beforehand so they can like include the authors in their Kickstarter, which is what the Microcosm Publishing Bikes in Space anthology is doing. But this one in particular seems like they're waiting. Are they waiting for the Kickstarter to be over for me to hear back? I don't know. But if they make their Kickstarter, they're able to accept more stories. So I'm thinking, on the off chance that I get on this like wait list, but they don't have enough funds. So anyway, I'm saying like I'll link the Kickstarter down below in case you want to help out and support. You know, by you doing this, it doesn't guarantee I'll be in the piece, like I'll be in the issue at all. But it might be something you're all interested in. It's climate change, you know, my favorite topic. I love writing about it. The story, Okay, I can't say it. I don't want to say it, okay? But you know which story it is if you've seen my second to most recent vlog. If you've been following me on this channel since last year, you'll know which short story this is. And I feel like this is the perfect home. Okay, that's it. That's what you guys get from staying all the way to the end. Me kind of freaking out about this magazine because I love it a lot. And the guest editor follows me actually. Like we somehow like followed each other, and this was way before I submitted to this magazine, to this issue. I guess they won't announce the authors until the Kickstarter is done, because then they can see how much fun they have. Thanks so much for sticking around. This was a very realistic week of me just being at home, trying to write, trying to do a business. Thanks for watching, bye.